Yeah. Okay. What's up, everybody? It's me, Pit Bike Pete.
I'm Pothole Pat.
As you can see, we're a couple Harley brothers. So, big news. I traded in my Kawasaki Z900 for a new Harley Lowrider ST. So we'll just kind of go through some of the pros and cons now that I've owned it for a couple days, some of the things that I've done to it, and I'll probably release some other videos showing, before and afters, things like that. But just go through the general gist of things. Start out, I know everybody's like, oh, Harley this or whatever sport bike, that, like, one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
That's it, huh? Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
This or that.
Yeah, that's what they be doing.
You
So
got a sport bike and not a sport bike.
yeah.
What made you want to sell your Z900 or trade it in?
Number one, I'm married. I've got kids. And now what you might be thinking that the sport bike was more dangerous. More just the comfortability of riding a passenger. For my kids too, having a sissy bar and a more comfortable back seat, obviously just made more sense. Along with the saddlebags and the fairing, getting old, gotta get on a glide, So that's how we landed there. The Z900, obviously not a full, sport bike. It's a naked bike. You got a little more upright riding position. So as far as like daily commuting and regular everyday riding, pretty solid. You got all the power in the world that you want, and all the stopping power, the deep lean radius, all that stuff. It was great. I loved every second of riding that bike. It was fun.
It had a ton of technology and stuff on it too, which was sweet for a naked bike like that.
Yeah. So, this had no, I had no qualms with riding the bike myself. It's more came down to practicality when riding a passenger, and then also, just everyday use. Yeah, so it'll make the commute a lot easier, having the saddlebags, being able to have a change of clothes, all that stuff. It's just going to be
Not all your work stuff in a backpack.
Yeah. So, yeah, pros of the Z900, I'd say more agile, lighter, easier to move around, cheaper to modify. Mm-hmm. Overall, probably just cheaper to maintain, and quicker, right? But pros of the Harley, way more comfortable.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah, I was going to say the con of the Z900 is you get a sort of...
Yeah. I don't know if we can say... Yeah. I don't know if we can say bussy, dude. Mr. Bombussy. Yeah, man. So, rode the bike in last week, dropped it off, picked up the new Lowrider. Super stoked about it. Being the Harley, I was kind of a little apprehensive about going back to Harley.
Yeah,
obviously,
not your first Harley.
Yeah. So I bought my first Harley back in 2007. Well, my first new Harley in 2007. It was a Nightster. Then I bought a 48. Same Sportster family. Modified the shit out of that, and then
Rode the shit out of that.
Yeah. I don't even know how many thousands of miles I put on either one of those bikes. Rode them both across the country. every which way you can think of. And then ended up trading in that 48 for a Super Glide. The Super Glide I completely modified, so that ended up to be over 100 horsepower bike, which, not impressive when you ride sport bikes, but for Harley Davidsons, it's a big marker, especially back then. I sold that bike in 2018 and picked up the Z900 in 21 or 22, and enjoyed every day riding it, but was just ready to get back on a Harley, so that's what we did. Harley's running a pretty awesome financing deal right now, so I took advantage of it. And honestly, Harley Davidson, Battle Creek Harley Davidson, they worked with me pretty well. They gave me, top dollar for the Z900. I really wasn't expecting I wasn't expecting to trade it at all. I was actually just debating on whether or not I was going to keep it. I would have loved to have kept it, but obviously, hard to ride two bikes at one time. So I traded it in, and I really didn't want to go through the hassle of private sale. The old Facebook marketplace rigmarole. It's never fun, dude.
Not for me.
Yeah.
0 out of 10.
Just for the record, dude, I don't want your not running snowmobile. You're not running chainsaw. You're not running weed whipper.
Yeah, I'm not trading you from you're not running Oldsmobile.
Yeah, dude. Luckily, got Harley Davidson to give me a decent deal on it, so it all worked out.
Worked out great.
Yeah. So first thing I noticed getting on the Lowrider was that the seat was it was too low. You'd think I'd know by the name of it.
It's great.
That it's a Lowrider. But it turns out, man, I don't really like riding with my knee touching my ear, and it's not the most comfortable. I'm not a huge dude. I'm 5'11", 6 foot. And not the most comfortable riding position with the stock seat. Luckily, Battle Creek Harley had already put on some nice, they're Harley Davidson, but I guess upgraded grips, upgraded floorboards. None of that added to the comfort though. Hips were still a little tight getting over the bike, so I picked up, what would you call it, a Saddleman replica?
Yeah. Very similar to a Saddleman, almost identical.
Yeah. So
softer though.
I love the Saddleman seat. They're beautiful seats, and I don't want to take anything away from them. But I purchased an Amazon 2-up seat that looked very similar to the Saddleman, and pretty nice quality, dude.
It's pretty nice.
Really impressed.
I have a Saddleman, and it takes a while to break in. Also, nice seats.
Yeah.
But that one, his came in the box, ready to roll, comfortable, easy install, all that.
Yep.
Great quality, stitching and everything was excellent on it. So
yeah, really surprised. I'll do my best to link that in the description. As you can tell probably from my previous videos, I'm not very good at this, so I'm still learning. So we'll definitely do our best, and if we can't get it, maybe you can let me know in the comments on how to do that. What else did I do?
Took all the reflectors off.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know what Harley Davidson's obsession is with reflectors on a motorcycle. I removed 2, 4, 6, 7 reflectors.
Tail, yeah.
7 stick-on double-sided sticky tape reflectors that are just plastered all over this motorcycle. So
real quick on that, touch on a weird con. It's not really a con, but the 2024, 2025 still come with non-LED lights, tail lights and running lights. But they still go out of their way to put these reflectors on there. If you want to be safe, throw some LEDs in those bad boys and make them nice. You can see them.
No doubt. So that's definitely a future upgrade. You know, again, I'm sure there's a bunch of great brands out there. I'm gonna try out the Amazon $43 LED kit. You know, we'll check that out. So right now, I just stepped off of the Z900 for the last time, and that was a little bit sad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Parting with any bike sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a nice bike. Like you said, there was no reason other than, you know, change your riding style and who's riding with you. So
yeah,
it's a cool bike, but also great that Battle Creek Harley took care of you and able to take that as a trade-in.
For sure. Yeah, man. So now I'm just hammering on this Harley, going down the highway, and really enjoying it. Tell you what, having a fairing.
Yeah, huge upgrade.
Yeah. It's just enough wind blockage that you know you feel good, but also my mullet's still, you know, in the wind. Didn't mean to knock the camera there.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Really drives home
the
how
dramatic hair
wimpy the
flip.
mullet was.
Yeah, dude.
And in riding in Michigan too, it's still spring. It's pretty cold, but you can still get out and enjoy a ride with a fairing. Not that you can't go enjoy it without it, but it definitely helps. Especially if you're using it to commute, highways, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing that makes a ride that much better.
Definitely. Oh, the risers. I definitely think I'm going to go with the Thrash and Supply risers and top clamp where you can relocate the gauges. They're just not quite tall enough. I like them a little bit taller, so you know all the other Harley brothers really know how Harley I am, because it's just not Harley enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that'll definitely happen. I think they make some cool like screen inserts to go in the vents. You can see in the fairing right now, you can like see through it. I'm gonna get those screen inserts.
How's the height of the windshield stock like that? Is that good? Open goes over your head? I've seen a couple reviews that...
Yeah, you know, it's fine for me. And, you know, like I said, I'm not a huge dude, but I'm good to go. And I wear a full face helmet, so any wind buffeting, like I would probably feel the maximum.
Hell yeah.
So anyways, guys, I will, like I said, I'll throw some links in the bio and some photos up of, you know, the new seat, and, you know, get you guys updates as I progress through this. Once I hit 1,000 miles, I'll probably end up cutting the baffles out of this thing. Sure. Still got back pressure because the catalytic converter, so, you know, I don't see why I would want to leave it sounding like a sewing machine. And I really don't want to spend $2,000 on exhaust plus a tuner.
Mine are about $2,800.
Yeah. So, anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in. You know, there's gonna be a ton more to come, and don't worry, the dirt bike stuff's not stopping. I'm still gonna get out there and, you know, look like a fool on the dirt bike. And hopefully, as we get more videos, maybe you guys can give me some tips on how to actually ride that thing. So
yeah, give me some tips on how to do wheelies.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
All right, thanks everybody.